On the North Shore, a father is dead and his 12-year-old daughter is in the hospital.
Investigators say several men with guns forced their way into the apartment. It happened last night in Hammond at an apartment complex on Rufus Bankston Road. And Mike
Investigators here in Tangipahoa Parish call this a home invasion, and they say the motive was robbery. They say suspects wearing masks had handguns when they broke into this apartment with a father and 3 children inside. After a frantic knock on his door early Tuesday morning, Joseph Morello rushed over to his friend's house.
Police everywhere. Crime tape from the front of the street to basically to the telephone post.
A couple hours before he got there, his friend, 33-year-old Dante Perry, and Perry's 12-year-old daughter had both been shot. Perry died.
Do anything for his kids, his family.
It happened inside apartment 255 on Rufus Bankston Road late Monday night, when Chief Jimmy Travis says 3 or 4 masked gunmen forced their way inside.
A neighbor witnessed this and was on the phone with 911. While the neighbor was on the phone with 911, you could hear shots ringing out in the background. The 911 call taker could hear.
Travis says the suspects demanded drugs and money, then shot Perry multiple times before shooting his 12-year-old daughter as they were leaving. Perry's 2 other kids, a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, were unharmed.
We feel like that the sole purpose of them shooting the 12-year-old was to actually, murder the 12-year-old, because the threat of the 12-year-old being a witness or being able to identify him or provide information.
Travis says the girl was taken to Children's Hospital and has at least 10 gunshot wounds.
He never bothered nobody. He always just stayed playing with his kids, enjoyed spending time with them constantly.
Perry's cousin, Kiera Perry, says family and friends are now rallying around the kids.
We just trying to hold up the best we can right now.
While remembering the man they knew as a jokester who had a love for tattoo artistry and showing off his talents.
Singer, rapper, dancer, great person.
A great person who family and friends say will be greatly missed. And some friends just pulled up here to the apartment, loading some things out onto the truck. As of this afternoon or this evening, that 12-year-old girl is in stable condition at Children's Hospital. Authorities are now pleading with this community for someone to come forward to help them track down the people responsible. You can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers. Live in Hammond.
That's right. I talked to the family of Dante Perry earlier today, and they tell me they don't know why he was a target in this robbery. They say he was a tattoo artist who was a great father who just kept to himself. Here's what we know so far. Around 11:30 p.m. Last night, Tangi Sheriff deputies say 4 masked men entered an apartment on Rufus Bankston Road in Hammond and opened fire. 33-year-old Dante Perry was killed, and his 12-year-old daughter underwent surgery this morning after suffering 10 bullet wounds. Perry's 2 other children were in the home but were not hurt. Deputies tell me they believe drugs and money are a potential motive. We're told the men responsible ran off, and at this time their identities are unknown.
He always try to make friends with people wherever he went. And I just don't understand how this even turned upside down like this.
Would do anything for his kids, his family. It's kind of hard and devastating that you would try to target a man that's works for his.
Ariel, thank you. This is not your usual homicide. Unfortunately, a child is also at the center of this investigation. Does law enforcement really think the 12-year-old was a target in this crime as well?
You know, that's a very good question. I was told earlier today that because the 12-year-old was shot 10 times, it is possible she was actually able to identify the shooters. Now, because she was a minor who was shot 10 times, so many times, there's a level of intent they now have to investigate.
Starting off in Tangipahoa Parish today, where authorities say a home invasion last night left 1 person dead and put a 12-year-old in the hospital. Now here's what we know so far. According to the Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office, the home is on Rufus Bankston Road in Hammond. Someone called 911 saying 3 or 4 men were entering the home with guns, then shots were fired. When deputies got there, they found the body of 33-year-old Dante Perry. He had been shot multiple times. Perry's 12-year-old daughter was in the house at the time too and was also shot more than once. She was taken to the hospital where her condition was listed as stable.
A Tangipahoa community is searching for answers after a father is killed and his 12-year-old shot in a home invasion robbery. The child suffered 10 bullet wounds. Deputies still.
The family and friends of Dante Perry say they don't know why he was a target in this home invasion robbery, but they are demanding answers.
It's very devastating. He was the life of the party for us. He was always cracking jokes. He done everything for us.
Emotions run high for the family of 33-year-old Dante Perry. Perry was fatally shot after deputies say 4 masked men forcibly entered his home on Rufus Bankston Road in Hammond just before 11:30 Monday night.
We feel like he was a direct target of this robbery.
Deputies told us money and drugs are a possible motive. Perry's 12-year-old daughter was also shot during the invasion. She suffered 10 gunshot wounds and underwent surgery Tuesday morning.
I mean, when you shoot a child multiple times like this, I mean, you can only have one intent.
Perry's 2 other children, a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, were also in the home and were not hurt. Kiara Perry, Dante's cousin, told me his kids were his world.
He always just stay playing with his kids, enjoy spending time with them constantly.
Deputies say the 4 masked men ran from the scene and investigators are working to identify them. Perry's family and closest friends are pleading for the community to help.
Somebody's going to say something sooner or later. Somebody's going to say, well, look, I heard this, I heard that. And I just hope that they don't be scared. Just think if it was your family and someone on the outside saw something, you would want them to come forward.